Welcome to Comm Hacker. I'm your host, Chas Grundy. I'm the Director of IT Strategy and Transformation for the University of Notre Dame. And today we're going to hack IT communications to help you tell better stories, reach the right audiences, and change hearts and minds. Ready to get started? Let's begin. Marketing guru Seth Godin wrote, "The sound of a small bell during a dark night is louder than the din of traffic outside your window during rush hour. Surprise and differentiation have far more impact than noise does." Let's face it, higher ed communications, especially IT communications, can be pretty dry. Account lifecycle policies, not sexy. Communications and marketing rely on being memorable, on ideas that are sticky, something that people talk about, spread the word, and they keep in mind. You want them to remember where to store their data, how to get support, what the new policy is, and so on. If you want to grab their attention, try surprising them with the unexpected. When we rolled out Google for our faculty and staff, we knew we needed to take special care of our administrative assistants. We made custom labels for candy bars and distributed them to our admins across campus. On the front, it said, "In case of emergency, follow the directions on the back." On the back of the candy bar, it says, "Step 1, take a deep breath. Step 2, eat the chocolate. Step 3, call us for help." The admins loved it. To raise awareness for our cybersecurity carnival in 2022, we hired students to dress up as shamed security clowns and wander around campus. They're kind of hard to miss. They had a QR code on their backs leading to a landing page about the event. We figured it would start the buzz and get people excited about the carnival. As we got closer to the event, the same students dressed up as goofy cybersecurity cops, and they asked random people for personal information. "What's your mother's maiden name?" If they answered, the fake cops would write them a fake ticket, promoting the cybersecurity carnival. If they refused to share info, the cops would give them a reward. You guessed it, a free ticket to the cybersecurity carnival. And yes, we cleared this all with our campus police department ahead of time. For larger initiatives, adopting a theme can be a powerful way to surprise your audience, establish a unified design language, and connect your message with something familiar, which makes it far stickier than just starting from scratch. Safety and emergency preparedness training have become a staple across higher ed. University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, and more recently Notre Dame adopted a zombie theme for emergency preparedness. The tagline, "If you're prepared for zombies, you're prepared for any emergency." That's me with Carrie K. Shibata, our chief of police. They had food trucks, t-shirts, and a whole slew of colleagues decked out in zombie makeup. It was amazing. A while back, my team was asked to help educate staff about Google collaboration tools, changing perceptions about what they are, how they work, and what they can or cannot do. We designed the Google First Wizard in college, and it ran over the course of a semester. It was a gamified training program, and people were super engaged with the content and the theme. This was totally optional, opt-in thing, but we still had more than 800 people sign up to become Google Wizards. It's a fundamental part of marketing. You have to meet your audience where they are. And I mean that both psychologically and literally. The more you know about them, the more you can tailor your message to their ears. You can adapt your voice and tone to better resonate with them. And you can more accurately drop your message in front of them at the right place at the right time. One of my favorite hacks is to utilize channels that already exist, but nobody is really tapped into. For example, sometimes we have our endpoint team update the desktop background or wallpaper in all the classrooms and computer labs. It's great for awareness and reinforcing messages. Another example is the piggyback. Campus events can be a great opportunity to piggyback on and let someone else do the job of assembling an audience for you. A few years ago, we worked with Human Resources to have a presence at the annual summer staff picnic. Then we have the Irish Health Fair, the university's annual health and wellness event. We'll have a couple of booths for IT info and security awareness at that event. How about your school's account login page? For many of us, the login page is the most commonly visited website we have. Is there an opportunity to customize or theme that page to help you communicate? Now, if you really want to get fancy, consider buying Google Ads or social media ads to target audiences you want to reach. You might have a fantastic IT support website, but if your users are going to Google to search, they might not find your content. You can limit your audience and your budget by using geo-targeting and specific keywords to tap into people who aren't already following your communications. You can drop your info right in front of them without spending a ton of money. One hot trend in marketing is influencer marketing. That's when you have someone else, someone influential, put your message in front of their audience. You're relying on their credibility and following, their influence, to strengthen and amplify your message.
Contract or no, I will not bow to any sponsor.
Look for people who have access to the audiences you want to reach. Leverage their influence to spread and amplify your message. For example, our Student Affairs Division has a great newsletter. It goes out to all of the students, and their open rates are excellent. They've done the hard work of building the audience and their engagement. When we need to reach students, Student Affairs is happy to help amplify our messages by adding our content to their newsletter. And of course, we're happy to return the favor. Who are the campus influencers at your university? Who has a strong social media following? Who are the celebrities, and how could you partner with them to push your messages out? Students don't read email. The stats show otherwise. A recent email to our students had an 87.7% open rate. We typically see 80% or better open rates with students. Now, if you're the parent of a student, you might be shaking your head and saying, they don't read my emails. Chances are they do, but that doesn't mean that they will respond to them. Sorry, Dad. Faculty don't engage during the summer. The stats show otherwise. When we deployed a new email system in June 2014, 83% of our faculty went ahead and set up their email accounts on their own within the first day of going live. Most faculty pay attention and engage when it's important. Just because some of our instructors aren't teaching over the summer doesn't mean that they're checked out. Faculty are all old white men. Listen, if I ask you to picture a faculty member, there's a decent chance that you're imagining an old white male. You might believe he hates change and doesn't like technology. How would that person react to the goofy ideas I talked about earlier? But the average age of college professors is only 46 years old, and it's about 50-50 men and women. While 66% of professors are white, that means 34% are not, and those numbers are shifting. So it's time that we start adjusting our own image about who our faculty are. If we tailor our work to the persona of that old white man, you might be harming your efforts with a 30-year-old female professor who really wants to push the limits of her teaching and research using modern technologies. Listen, we all have a lot of generalizations, and it's okay to challenge them. Figure out if they're true or if there's more to the story. Do students read their email? Of course they do. But they also use text messaging and social media far more. So adapt your communications accordingly. And this leads to our final hack. Data is your friend. I'm guessing that none of us have enough time and resources to do all the things we're being asked to do, let alone the things we want to do. But if we can get smarter about communications, we can save ourselves a lot of time, and we can certainly become more effective. Start by developing experiments. What myths or rules do you have? What would you like to challenge? Does anyone actually use QR codes? Do emojis in subject lines help or hurt our efforts? That wacky cybersecurity clowns thing, did that actually work? The only way to know is to measure and evaluate. One tool is the A/B test. Most email marketing tools offer some kind of testing feature, and it works like this. Make two versions of an email. Maybe it's just the subject line. It could be the language or the design of the email. Then you send each email to a small chunk of your audience, like 5 or 10% of your total audience. Decide what you want to evaluate it on. Which one has the best open rate or the click-through rate? Whatever you decide is the winner. After the first batch goes out, look at the data, declare your winner, and send that version to the rest of the audience. This can be a little bit of work. So I recommend you start simple. Start with just a subject line. Can you begin to craft subject lines that get more of your audience to open your emails? One of my favorite tools for measuring communications is the use of campaign URL tracking. If you're new to campaign URLs, well, here's a crash course. Let's imagine you have a new service you're promoting to students. You build some kind of landing page for your service. Let's assume that you're also using Google Analytics on your website. For your rollout, you're planning to send an email to students, place digital signs, and hang posters in the dorms. The digital signs and posters have QR codes and URLs on them. For every link you put out there, you're going to use a slightly different URL with embedded tracking information in it. That info includes details like what campaign it's connected to, the medium or channel you used, the content differences, and so on. Next, you'll wrap this all up with URL shorteners and QR codes so people don't have to type those long URLs. When someone visits that URL or captures that QR code, their visit to your website becomes connected with the details in a specific URL. So you can figure out exactly which of your tactics resulted in their visit. This is one of the ways you can design experiments to evaluate your communications. Did people visit because of your email? Did the digital signs drive any traffic at all? Did they scan a QR code or did they type the URL in from the posters? Let's go back to our cybersecurity carnival. Looking at our data, we can see that the clowns didn't drive very much traffic, and our paid ad in the student newspaper certainly didn't pay off. And that's okay. We learned from our experience and we will adjust next time. But we also learned that the classroom wallpapers and the yard signs we put out on the day of the event worked pretty well. So we'll keep those in mind going forward for other campaigns. And there's a ton more we could get into with Google Analytics and other measuring tools. Check out your favorite place to get training videos and go nuts. As I said before, data is your friend. Today, we cover our 5 hacks for IT communications. The element of surprise, meet them where they are, use amplifiers, bust the myths, measure, rinse, repeat. I hope our time together has been valuable and that you've learned a few new tricks and come away with some ideas for how you can hack your communications. And I'm sure you're hungry for more. So if you haven't already, I want you to go over to the EDUCAUSE IT Communications community group and subscribe. Join the conversation and share your own hacks for better IT communications. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Chas Grundy, and that's it for this edition of Comm Hacker. Have a magical day.